What's good, folks? We're going to be going over the Kolder Creative course. Before I get into any of the content on the course, huge spoiler alert, you don't need it. You don't need it. So close out of this video, go to these resources I'm about to show you, and don't purchase the course. Okay, so I'm going to go into that, and I'm also going to share some reasons why the course is actually great too, because I did get it. And I do think it is a great addition in supplemental learning. But the reason why I'm telling you you might not need it is simply because the folks at Blackmagic and those that are going into Davinci Resolve have done such an incredible job. Let's jump into it. So I've got it here, but you can see here I'm just on the Blackmagic Design YouTube channel, and I gotta say, these are some of the best courses that I've ever made. I've seen. Davinci Resolve Edit Training. You can see that these are 4 videos here. They all run about an hour, and these are by master editors, so folks that have been using Davinci Resolve for years, really. And they're going over a number of different things, from multicam editing to visual editing to, they've got an incredible playlist on color, where this is taking anyone to very, very advanced depths. Fairlight, which is the audio portion. So they're constantly putting out amazing tutorials. So I didn't know this existed, but it filled in a whole lot of gaps from the Kolder Creative course. And that's just one thing that I want you to know. But the second thing that I think you need to kind of basically identify with if you are going to do this course is that you have to let go of Premiere. I used Premiere for about 10 plus years prior to coming to Davinci, and that was very, very hard. It took a lot of it was more of a mental shift than anything, because you got your workflows, you got your shortcuts, you got everything basically how you want it laid out, and to leave that program, I know it can be like heart-wrenching. But from someone who's coming at this from 10 years of working within the Adobe suite, I think that if you give it a real shot, from all of the background that you've learned within Premiere when it comes to editing, within 3-ish months of consistent work, at least for me, my workflow within Davinci and my output and my editing all surpassed what I was able to do in Premiere. So I'd say those are 2 very key things to know before even we talk about the course, which is great. I said you don't need it. I think it's a great commitment to yourself to be a pro, and honestly, it's just fun to learn from the GOAT. You know what I mean? It's just fun to have Sam in your corner sharing you how he did it, and then you've got all of these Blackmagic videos as supplemental learning. But definitely recommend the course. And it's great to know that there's these other resources. So if you're kind of just getting over that hump of like, I don't know if I can leave Premiere Pro, just want to say that between this course and the editing resources here, and honestly, with Kolder Creative being out, it's put in so much attention to Davinci Resolve that there's a lot of other creators out there that are putting in tutorials for every little nuanced thing that you could want, from tips on multicam editing to how to do very, very specific things, almost like those tutorials you see that are just that could basically be like a YouTube short, like 1 to 2 minutes, doing very specific things. It's getting to the point where you're able to find those things, which is amazing, because when I first got this course 3-ish years ago, there weren't those videos, but all the attention is putting toward Davinci Resolve. The community seems to be growing a lot more for whatever reason. It's also just, in my opinion, better than Premiere Pro from an editing standpoint. So it's getting more attention from kind of the marketing side, Sam Kolder putting a lot of attention on it, and also from the fact that I think people realize that, hey, this is a great product. We should be using this. So I think those are 2 things that I definitely want you to know. First, amazing support outside of the course. 2, if you're deep in Premiere, you will surpass what you're able to do if you give it a real shot. And now the third hint before we get into the Kolder Creative course, and I'm not an affiliate for this at all, but Davinci has some pretty incredible hardware. I actually bought this ridiculous editing keyboard that I love. It's got this kind of scroll wheel that allows me to move back and forth on my timeline, bunch of shortcuts. But I just want you to know that if you do get this, it comes with a copy of Davinci Resolve. So if you're considering getting Resolve and you really just are like, yo, I'm fully committed, don't buy a copy of the software. Buy a keyboard, comes with the software. You can save like $300. So now that we're out of my little rant telling you that I think you should move to Davinci Resolve, and B, there's a lot of resources, and 3, secret tip, grab a keyboard if you're really going to lock in and save a little bit of money, because you'll probably get it later on in your career. We can jump into the course. So jumping into Kolder Creative, right? Let's talk about it. So first off, Sam knows Premiere Pro like the absolute back of his hand, and it shows. So from a Premiere Pro standpoint, it's very nice. I went through this initially before I moved over to Davinci, and then I actually moved to Davinci when he released that side. There's a lot of really good stuff on just workflow. One thing that I really like about this course is that they include a lot of downloads. So instead of just being like, just taking in the information, it is very, very helpful, from just a learning perspective to follow along to do this. And one tip that I recommend that you do to kind of take your learning even further is when Sam references specific clips, like, these Saudi Arabia sample clips, and you're editing alongside him, is do it with the Saudi clips. But then if you want to increase your knowledge even more and technical understanding and just your creativity when it comes to editing, is then try to model that with your own clips. So you've done that from, with Sam's clip, which is great because you're literally following along, you're clicking, you're right there with him, and then pause after that and be like, all right, I'm gonna do some of my own clips. And then I think that's a big test to see if you've actually taken in the information, you understand what it is that Sam is talking about, and you can do it, right? It's kind of like, when you're in school, the practice test, you've seen it a couple times, it's the same questions, but then you get the real test in front of you and you're like, what the heck do I do? That's what bringing your own clips into this is, I believe. Hope that metaphor made sense, or analogy. Anyways, let's get back to it. So other things that I like about Premiere Pro is there's a lot of really, really subtle things that Sam does. And there's a lot of I guess it's like nuggets within these courses, because Sam will riff a little bit and just talk about when he's going through things, how he does stuff in his workflow. So for example, one thing that I started to do that is totally not a full topic in this course, or it doesn't even have a module, but I think it's in just one of these videos. I think it's just in selects. He just mentions that when I'm looking through selects, I like to play 5 or 10 songs that I'm thinking of using for the edit. And for me, that was really cool, because that's how Sam, he also is sharing how he's getting more, or basically return on just going through and scrubbing through selects. He's not just listen to some song he likes. He's pick 10, 15 songs, 5, 10, 15 songs that might work for the project. He's playing them through. And by the time he's done with selects, he's heard those songs, a few times through each time, and he knows bits and pieces of each song. So while the average editor has just gone through their selects, Sam has not only done that, but he's also gone through a huge variety of, selections of audio for it. And he's thinking in different ways of how this could apply to his music. And so right there, he's just one notch ahead of an editor who just wouldn't be doing that. And I've never heard anyone say that. And Sam just talked about it no, he just says it it's just offhand. So that's just one offhand tip that you'll get from Sam. So it's really cool to actually see how he thinks. Also is a little bit about his psychology on, again, how he's just getting more out of it and for every second that he's working than a lot of others. Going through this, And again, what I do want to say, what's nice, and if you're coming from this and you don't know anything about Premiere Pro, there are some gaps in this, but because there's just so much editing content on YouTube about this, say you're having trouble with some keyframes or some things update, there's always going to be someone who posts a video on how to, make your keyframes ease in, ease out, some tips on speed ramping, things like that, and very in-depth looks. So that's kind of the Premiere Pro high-level overview. He talks about color. Again, the follow-along stuff is really valuable. Now let's jump over to Davinci Resolve. So intro. The intro's cool. Basically, he's telling you, I worked with these other editing programs. They're all right for a bit, but Davinci's the one. If you're still on the fence, I would recommend trying the free version. Give it a real shot. Do maybe some personal projects or some projects where you're not, under the gun of a client, so you don't feel like you just need to crank this out. It needs to be perfect, and then you feel that stress. Work on some projects where you're just kind of playing around, seeing how things work, low stakes, maybe some TikToks, maybe some easy reels, just to get a feel for it. And I would suggest kind of ramping up, right, when you're transitioning from another editing software. I was full Premiere 8, 9, 10 years. Started doing my fun stuff, my TikToks, simple TikToks, just adding captions, simple cuts, more complicated reels. And then kind of when I was in the tier after that, then I was doing like longer form videos, ranching down Premiere Pro, and now I hardly, I just don't even open that program. That's how I would recommend kind of transitioning if you are. He also talks about, again, kind of how I mentioned, like his just mindset and how he works through things. There's a lot of things like how to take notes, how I do it, right? He's bringing in stuff that is more mindset related to really help you get the value out of this, which I think is cool because, just learning how to learn is important. Sam, my opinion, is one of the best, and it's just cool to see how he's done it. Project organization, pretty basic stuff. I mean, not basic. I don't want to say basic, but he just goes over through his organizational process. So if you're someone that just doesn't know where things are all the time, you're losing files, this could definitely help you. He also does this cool thing here that I didn't know. This was a cool offhand tip, is you can drag your folders into this section. So if you're referencing a folder very often, just boom, drag it out. This applies to you if you are on Mac. I didn't know that. Now I do it all the time. Thank you, Sam. Goes over Davinci shortcuts, which kind of brings me back to, if you are really going to lean in, check out some reviews on this keyboard. I think it's money. Moving back into this, project settings or project manager, just talking about how to basically kind of just like what databases are, which are more like project folders, things like that, how to store things, because Davinci has a really nice way of allowing you to organize where your projects are, whether you're working on them locally or actually in the cloud with other editors. And as a side tangent, quick note, if you've ever tried to work on a project with someone else in Premiere Pro, it's a headache. It's tough. You're constantly linking files. It's just tough to, deal with the proxies, deal with all that stuff in a team project setting. It sucks. It's like, that's one of the main things, because I have some assistants that I work with, assistant editors in the Philippines that I would first off, I'd highly recommend getting an assistant editor in another country for the affordability, and also because a lot of the editing that I'm sure you're doing, they're able to do stuff like, selects, bringing edits to like 60, 70%, 80, almost sometimes 80% completion, even more, and then you're able to hop in there. That's a whole journey. I'll make another video out of that. But if you're not working with another editor, totally recommend you find an assistant editor in another country. It is going to save your life and save you a lot of time and make your clients a whole lot happier, because you're delivering things quicker and you're not dealing with a lot of the subtleties and just stuff that any editor knows how to do off the jump. But where I was going with that was that the Davinci team project is so easy to use. We never lose files. It's like one-click sync. We just share a Dropbox. They've got a great workflow with proxy, so you're not spending hours uploading files. They really thought it out. It's amazing. Back to this. Yeah, and he goes through really everything, all the cut tab and the edit tab. And I want to say what is cool about this is that if you ever feel like Sam missed something, or you still have some questions, or you just want more content, because this Davinci goes deep, and you're going to realize that it's kind of like an abyss of like, not in like a scary abyss way, like the connotation that abyss has, but in a way where you can constantly be tweaking workflows. There's multiple ways to do things, and you can just like kind of keep soaring and flying higher. And that is where the Blackmagic Design YouTube comes in, because you can see, the edit training, right? So in the edit training, Sam's got, what I mean, like, where are we at? Sam's probably got like, not to bash him, and not to say like more content is better, because we don't want to just listen to some rambling nonsense. We've got things to do. What is this? An ballpark 20 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 9 minutes here, 10, 1. So maybe an hour, right? Maybe an hour in total. But probably like an hour 20. Let's say that. You know what I mean? This first video, hour 10. And so there's plenty of content, another 40 minutes, specifically on multicam editing, right? So if you're doing a 2, 3, 4 camera setup, which is, I gotta say, a dream editing in Davinci. I love how the workflow works. There's a 30-minute video on how to absolutely make this just, how to work through it completely and make an incredible piece of work, right? Sam does not even touch multicam editing in this course as of making this video. So, and I'm not saying this to bash Sam, I'm saying this, it's great because there's a lot of incredible support within that professional, this guy's like a master editor. I don't know what that entails to become a master editor at Davinci, but you'll know very quickly. These guys know exactly what they're talking about. So what I recommend doing is I recommend getting this course, learn from Sam. It's a commitment to doing well because, again, there's a lot more to this course than just Davinci, which is great. Sam also talks about the business side, which is super because, Sam's incredible when it comes to working with world-class brands and clients. There's more opportunities within the course, right? You know what I mean? There's like the job board. There's job board, just one job here as of now. Bunch of discounts. The members are cool. They run a lot of pretty amazing challenges. And you can just look for people, which is so cool. And I've connected with a few folks. And I let people know I'm in Hawaii, which on Oahu, hit me up if you're ever out here. And people come out here from time to time. I've gotten some emails from some cool people and I've linked up. So I do think there's a lot of value, So where I think this course comes into play is it's just a commitment, man. It's just a commitment to whoever, whether you're he or to whoever's watching, it's a commitment to, do this and be around people that create great content and absolutely love it. So I totally recommend getting the course. Use my affiliate link below for a discount. Would greatly appreciate that as kind of a thank you for just me making the time, making this video. I hope to help you too. So just shoot me an email if you have any questions about Davinci, about kind of this content, videography game that we're all in, how to play it better. That's kind of like a high-level overview of the course. Sam puts out incredible content. This color tab, this was great stuff from Sam. My coloring's looking better. Clients are mentioning it. They're saying, how's this looking so good? What changed? And it's because of this. And if you really want to go deeper, which I don't know if you necessarily need to because Sam honestly created a lot of great content on it, you can go to the color training videos. And these color training videos are no joke. You can see on my YouTube, I just loaded one up. I'm an hour 30 in to this master trainer going through it. And they break down everything. And they break it down to Hollywood level movie production. So it's like they're working on some very, very serious projects where they have to get the color right, and they break it down here. Sam does an incredible job. If you need more info, Davinci's got you as well. So kind of to wrap this up, I don't want this to go any longer. 20 minutes is plenty. I recommend getting the course. It's going to be great. I recommend moving to Davinci, and I think that you should know that this course is going to do you an incredible amount of good. You're going to learn from the GOAT. You're going to be locked in because you invested a fair amount of money into this. And 3, you're going to learn a lot of like nuances from Sam that are going to help you get more ROI. Because say, for example, you got this course, right? Let's just talk about how you could immediately get your ROI back, right? First off, you're going to become a better editor. So you can use this to work faster and create better work. 2 things you want to do that will ultimately lead you to more clients and be better quality of life. Because if you're just working through things, it's easier, you're better, right? That's boom, ROI, obvious ROI. Next, community, right? You can lock in with people that are really doing this. So you're basically surrounded by folks that this is it. We're going to do this. It's going to raise your belief level. You're going to get better because you're around people that do this. Another place for ROI, entering the challenges and winning them, right? There's been some incredible things that they're giving out. So enter some challenges, win the challenges. Applying this business stuff that I'm just talking about now, how to do this, right? How to land, this is cool, right? Everything here, diving into this. So there's plenty of ways that you can get a ton of ROI out of this. You just got to apply yourself, right? Very basic one here is just applying the discounts if you want any of these things. So overall, I think this course is worth it. I think it's great. I think there's a lot of support, and Davinci is just a smart place where if you are going to continue to be a creator, to do it and do it within Davinci, because there's going to be a lot more talented folks coming to this program. And the more that you know about it, the more value you're going to bring, not only because as more people go to it, you can collaborate with them. They're going to, you're talking about, you can hire more editors, you can work more seamlessly with them, but it's just basically the place where the professionals are, and you want to be there too. Hit my affiliate link below. I'd appreciate it. Drop a comment. Thanks for spending the time. Hope we didn't rant too long. And I make videos about kind of finance, about the game of videography, social media management, those sort of things, and a whole lot more. And if you're ever in Hawaii, on Oahu specifically, love to connect. Thanks.